Ambassador, thank you once again for that one session. We all know that commitment is one of the key things that is needed in every relationship. Both parties has to be committed to the relationship for it to grow and flourish. And again, you are not just be committed alone, but you have to be consistent in that your commitment. From there, you grow up to competency. That is how relationship grow, and that is how we can shape our society. Because one of the things that makes a society what it is relationship, and relationship starts from within to family and grow up to the the nation at large. Now, without much ado, I would like to welcome another profound speaker that is going to share more light on his own contribution to the book 5 Steps to Transform Any Relationship. And this is not another person, but Prince Izu Agbo. You are welcome, sir.
Uh, Good morning once again, Ma. And I leave an indulgence. I am not in a conducive place, so I think I would love to be allowed to keep my camera off.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You can speak
Okay.
without the
Thank you.
camera off.
So I'm going to do a summary of my own write-up on 5 Steps to Transform Any Relationship. And I think I wrote on two aspects: communication and conflict resolution. Now, I asked a question and I pointed out something in the write-up. I wanted people to know that love is not enough for any relationship to stand. I think when someone read this part, the person was surprised because after the write-up, someone was privileged to read this part of my write-up. The person wanted to know why I have to say that love is not enough to sustain any relationship. You know, we live in a society whereby they say that love is a key that makes relationship work. Yes, I don't doubt that. I believe in that. But love is not enough. There are people that are in love, actually, but they are apart from each other. There are people that are in love, that are madly in love with each other, but they are living in conflict. There are people that are in love, but they lack communication. They lack understanding about themselves. Now, they allow this love to cover these vital elements. Sometimes, when they have misunderstandings, instead of looking for a better ways to solve this conflict, instead of looking for better ways to improve communication, they just cover it in the guise of love. Well, I love him, I love her, let everything die. The implication is this: when you allow that love to kill the main thing you ought to address, what happens is that another time such misunderstanding comes again, because there is a key aspect of the relationship that has not been addressed. No matter how much you love a person, no matter how much you want to be with a person, no matter how much you think you have feelings, emotions, attachments for a person, when there is no understanding, when there is no communication, when there is no conflict resolution, that love becomes not enough. That was the basis of where I started my own. And as I said earlier on, I wrote on two aspects: communication and conflict resolution. Now, there are a lot of times I've seen couples, I've resolved issues about couples that were in love, but still had misunderstanding. And in my understanding and in my resolving the issues and listening to both parties, I discovered that in as much as they are deeply in love with each other, they lack the communication skill to express themselves before their partner. Now, it becomes an irony, because one thing that I know that love does is, for people that understand love very well, love tries to understand each other. For people that understand love very well, love tries to communicate feelings. Love tries to communicate emotions. For people that understand love very well, love tries to communicate pain, because there is a way a burden and a pain would continue. You will see that love you think you have for that particular person will automatically die. There is a way a person will hurt you. You keep on forgetting about the hurt because you feel you're in love with this particular person. That hurt piles up. You will see yourself drifting apart from that particular person. So love is not actually enough. In 5 C's to develop relationship, I wrote on conflict resolution. I wrote on communication. Now, when I talked about communication, I see communication as the lifeline of every relationship. It is in a communication that you understand each other. It is in a communication that you understand your partner. It is in communication that you know the likes and dislikes of your partner. It is in a communication that you know what your partner desires and what he does not desire. And this does not only apply in romantic relationship, it applies in our day-to-day relationship with people. There are people that have set their boundaries in their life. Now, I discovered that a lot of times that people had issues, it is because one particular party, one particular person overstepped an individual's boundary. Every individual you meet in life have set out boundaries for themselves, especially every leader. Because I'm not talking to I'm talking generally to leaders, because we ourselves we are leaders in our own different capacities. So all these leaders you see, they develop boundaries for themselves. Now, when there's no communication, you will not be able to understand the boundary a partner, your friend, that person that is close to you, that business partner has been able to develop for him or herself. A lot of people enter into problems due to lack of communication. A lot of people enter into problems because they fail to understand the other person's boundaries and they did not keep to that particular individual's boundary. Now, we have to be real here. Now, most of the relationships don't suffer from a lack of talking. They suffer from lack of understanding. Now, communication is not just about saying something. It's about being heard. Now, so there are two ways for a communication. Number one, it is you speaking out your mind. The second part of it is for the other person to be able to understand what you have in mind. You communicate. As you're communicating, there is something inside of you that is wishing to be heard by that particular person. You are communicating your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. Now, when you are heard, when you are seen, it makes you become safe around that particular person. There are people that you can be with, you become safe around them. It makes you open up to them. There are people that you can be with, it makes you tell them what you can not naturally tell to someone else. Why? Because they always listen to you whenever you communicate your thought to them. They make themselves available, and not only do they make themselves available, they create a safe space for you to express yourself before them. I've learned that what you say is important, but how you say it matters even more. Now, there are things that characterizes what you say and how you say it. One of it is your tone. How do you present your tone to speak? Very, very important. A lot of people express themselves very well, but their tone of expression brings misunderstanding. Now, it is not only expressing yourself. Yes, you have the right to express yourself, but what is that tone? What tone do you use to express yourself? Does that tone create misunderstanding? Does that tone create violence? Does that tone create a problem that will take a very long time to be resolved? Not only does your tune matter, your timing. It is not every time that everyone is in the mood to hear you communicate your mind, your feelings, your actions. Now, one of the things they always advise married couples is this: They will tell you when you go to a marriage counseling or go to a marriage committee, they will tell you when your partner is not happy, wait for your partner to calm down before you can communicate your thought to your partner. When people are angry at the same time, and two of them tries to communicate their mind in that atmosphere of anger, it will complicate. I say the first one of communication is two, the second one is timing. Then the third one is intention. What is your intention? Is your intention of communicating your feelings, is it for there to be a resolve of that particular matter? Your intention of communicating your feeling, is it for it to be solved? Is it for you to be heard truly, or is it for you to escalate more problems? Your intention matters a lot in communication. Now, the goal isn't just to speak your mind. It is to speak in a way that invites your partner to listen and lean in, not shut down or walk out. I've had moments where I said the truth, but with the wrong spirit, and it turned the person I was trying to love into not understanding what I was trying to say. So now I ask myself, is what I am saying building a bridge or burning one? Now you have to learn to listen. Now there's a secret that people need to understand. People don't just want answers. If your partner is talking, don't rush to fix it or defend yourself. Someone brings out a problem before you. Now you think you have understood what a particular person is saying and you want to fix the key is allow that particular person to express him or herself. There is a healing that comes when you allow your partner to express him or herself. A healing happens. A healing comes. Now, yes, I understand that when the partner expresses him or herself, you don't always, it's not a must that you agree. But when you listen to that particular person, you are telling that particular person that the person matters enough to be heard. That alone can save a relationship if that relationship is in the brink of collapse. Now, you don't have to wait for crisis moments to check in. You have to learn to talk daily, share little things, dreams, funny stories, even fears. Emotional distance doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in through silence. A lot of problems you see that comes in among partners, it not just happen in a day. It started somewhere. It started like a little misunderstanding. It started like a little silence. It started like a little problem. Now it generated into the aspect that each one of the partners wants to walk away without looking back. Now you have to reflect on communication. And when you're reflecting on this aspect of communication, you have to ask yourself a question. Number one, am I speaking with love and not just emotion? Number two, do I create a safe space for honest conversation? Number three, when was the last time I really listened without interrupting? Very, very important. One of the things that I've discovered that young people do, or some leaders do, is they fail to listen. I don't know. You know, we are in an age where everybody is trying to rush things. Nobody wants to become to listen. Someone is expressing him or herself. You are rushing to hold the person down because you feel that what the person is saying is nonsense or trash. Even if what the person is saying is a trash according to you, that particular person deserves to be heard. You have to allow that particular person to speak. It is a privilege you can give that particular person because not everyone can be able to open up to talk. There are people that have learned how to hide their emotions, hide their thoughts, hide their feelings inside of them. Now, I want to use myself as an instance. Now, I discovered that I always have people that want to open up to me because I listen to them. But I've not seen someone that I can freely open up to that can listen to me. All the people that I meet are the ones that want to be heard, but they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear me. It is if you want to be heard, Make sure you are ready to hear the other person. Make sure the other person can trust you to open up to you. Are you someone that someone opens up to and the secret of that particular person is not safe with you? As a counselor, one thing a counselor understands is that anybody that opens up to you, you have the right, you have the right to keep the secret of that particular person as a privilege. Like no other ear hears it. A lot of people feel in this. Now, I enter into the second one as I'm rushing conflict resolution. Now, in conflict resolution, one thing you have to understand is you have to fight for each other, not against each other. Very, very important. I've seen partners, I've seen friends fighting against each other, not for each other. Sometimes I used to see what happens online among friends, and I question, were these people actually friends? A person will come online, on Facebook, on a social media platform, where you know that over 5 million people have access to. You come online and you are castigating and fighting your friend online, dragging your friend online. Even if you guys had a misunderstanding, there were times you guys had beautiful moments. People are so ingratitude that they fail to realize that this particular person I'm fighting with at this particular moment, there was a time we had wonderful moments. They magnify that bad moment without knowing that those good moments can cover up those bad moments that they have. They come online, they start dragging their friend. It is one thing that I see that makes me shudder. One of the reasons why I don't even keep very close people around, because you never can know when that particular person would take your matter up and use those things you review to that particular person against you. Now you have to learn not to fight each other, but to fight for each other. There's difference between fighting against each other and fighting for each other. Now, we can team up together to achieve a common goal. That is how it ought to be. We can team up together to fight a common enemy. That is how it ought to be. Not joining that common enemy to fight you. Not you joining that common enemy to fight me. Every relationship will face conflict. That is one truth we have to understand. If we fail to understand that every relationship at one point or the other we face conflict, that means we are lying to each other. Why will this relationship face conflict? We have different temperaments. We have different personality traits. And as we have different personality traits, we have different characters. Sometimes my understanding, my mindset on issues might differ from yours. It is natural. This is because we are created differently. This is because we bear different personality traits. This is because we are different psychological makeups. This is because we have different mentality, we have different upbringing. This is because we have different experiences. So when we have different minds on issues, that mindset should not be what should make us have misunderstanding. So because of this mindset, a lot of people have conflict. But we are not focusing on this conflict, we're focusing on how to solve this conflict, because we have to accept that this conflict must come. Now, some of this conflict ruins relationship. Now, some of this conflict can make old time friends that have known each other for years turn against each other. I've seen people walk away from something beautiful, not because they weren't meant to be together, but because they never learned how to fight right. A lot of people left destiny helpers because they walked away when they ought to stay back. A lot of people don't even know the right time to walk away. Don't attack, instead address. When you feel hurt, the easy thing is to lash out, but attacks only create more wounds. Learn to address the issue without attacking the person. Now, you have to understand how to address issue. There's a difference between attack. A lot of people make this mistake. They attack thinking they are addressing issue. Now, I want to paint a picture of what you will say when you are addressing an issue. You can say, this made me feel. You see the truth, it came. Someone annoyed you, and you want to tell the person, oh, you did this, you did it. This made me feel bad. This made me feel unwanted. This made me feel not okay. Different approach. Now, you can be honest without being harsh. And if you say it with love, even hard truth can be healing. Very, very important. Learn to speak with love. Now, pause before you explode. There have been times I had to step away and breathe before continuing the conversation. That pause saved me from saying things I would have regret. And sometimes it gave my partner space to feel safe again. Don't let pride keep you in a shouting match. If you need a break, take it, but always come back with the intention to make peace. Choose restoration over winning. You don't win an argument if you lose a relationship. The goal is to prove who is right. The goal is not to prove who is right or not. The goal is for you to understand, restore, and reconnect. Every time you choose healing over ego, your relationship becomes stronger. After the conflict, don't just move on, rebuild. A hug, a prayer, a simple, I'm glad we walked through that. This moment reminds both of you that love still stands even after the storm. In conclusion, we have to reflect. We have to reflect on conflict resolution and communication. Now, you have to ask yourself these vital questions. One, two, three, these four questions. Number one, do I attack the problem or attack the partner? Self question. Do I attack the problem or attack the partner? If you are attacking the partner, you are wrong. You ought to attack the problem, not attack what the partner. A lot of people in misunderstanding usually call names. You call names, you insult your partner, you're not addressing the problem. Now, you are telling the partner, fuck you off. You're a very stupid person, you're a very mad person. How does your partner being a mad person has to do with the thing you are trying to address? The second question is, when emotions rise, do I pause or press harder? Another question, when emotions rise, do I pause or press harder? Number three question, do I focus on winning the argument or restoring connection? If you're someone that is centered on resolving conflict, your goal should not to win an argument, but to restore connection. The last question, what habits can I change to make our conflict more respectful and productive? If you read all these things, apply all these things, definitely without any doubt, your relationship would be better. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much, Your Excellencies, for the opportunity to speak.
Amazing with your questions. Amazing. I'm actually looking forward to read your chapter again and again because when we are working on critical thinking, which I believe that is part of the 5 C's to transform our relationship, I believe that these questions that you've really, really unveiled to us are the questions that we need to be asking ourselves when we're so it's a very good tools. Your questions are very, very good tools for us to use for critical thinking. And I want to say thank you so much, Ambassador Prince Uzu Agbo from Nigeria, for sharing with us. We could
Thank you
have
so much,
loved
ma.
to see your
Thank you so much.
face, but it looks like that will not be possible, but that is fine. And I believe later on, people will be able to watch your video even though they can't see your face. But
Thank you so
please
much, ma.
join us tomorrow. And let
Thank you
me
so much,
also
ma.
know if you are free for this evening WhatsApp section. At least that one you can type, you can text on the WhatsApp for people to learn from these particular questions that you've thrown to us today. So will you be
I'll be
available
free,
this
ma.
evening? Will
Yes,
you
ma. I'll be
be
available, ma.
okay? Okay, just brief, not
Thank
not
you.
really all your chapters, just brief. So
Okay.
this evening we would love you to join us in the WhatsApp and be one of our speaker. So please
Okay. Thank you
join
so
us
much, my
this
wife.
evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Okay,
much. Bye.
we are doing great, even though we've been waiting